Hi everyone, welcome to Insider Yachting. We have Lady Trilli up for review today, which is a 65-foot Pershing. Now we haven't done many Pershings. In fact, I think this is even the first Pershing that we've reviewed on Insider Yachting. So I wanted to throw this one in with the Express Cruiser reviews that we put together this week, just to give you an idea of what sort of other manufacturers are doing with roughly the same size hull, because this is quite impressive how they create so much space inside the hull of this boat. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, then click through to the website. It has all of the good information over there, the yacht packs that we have for each and every boat that's available on the market. Has details on the daily yacht tours and some free guides and great bits and pieces of information. And also, if you're on YouTube, then subscribe to us so that you will be notified of when the new reviews are up and ready to watch. Now, if you're already over on insideryachting.com, then below is the Be the First to Know button. It's a bit like subscribe, so click on that, leave your name and your email address, and we'll be able to send you a quick email notification of when the latest reviews are up and ready to watch. Now, you'll notice the 4 buttons over on the right hand side. The yacht pack button is a great source of information. We create these yacht packs for each and every boat that's on the market. Click that, leave your name, email address, and the name of the boat that you're interested in, and we'll send you the full brochure, all the photographs, the specifications, descriptions, some pricing analysis, so you know what its true market value should be, not just relying on the asking price. So we have those ready to go. Click on that and we'll send the yacht pack over to you right away. Now, also our weekly yacht tours. These are tours that go on every day throughout the week, couple of times a day. We have some different groups of people of varying sizes that we take through the yachts. So click on that, let us know what type of yacht or a specific yacht, if you know which boat you would like to go on, and we'll be able to fit you into to one of those groups. Just let us know which day would be best for you to go. So let's get started on this week's review. Lady Trilli. It's a nice profile running shot there. You'll notice the huge side hull window that is actually in the master cabin. It's a nice full beam master on this, and we'll see some photographs of that later on. And the huge sections of window that they have all the way through that main salon area. Now, of course, these windows are getting much bigger on all yachts of different sizes and styles, and that's typically because the quality of the glass and the strength of the glass is such now that you can actually use it as part of the hull, and the structural integrity is the same as, if not better. In fact, it has to be stronger than the rest of the hull in order to be classed and cleared through the safety sort of societies and classifications. So those pieces of glasses are getting much larger now, whereas before they were classed as a weakness in the hull, and you could only have them almost like little portholes. And on larger boats, we're seeing throughout the main deck, on the tri-deckers, we're seeing the whole side of these boats now being predominantly glass, whereas before you would have to have the structures in between. So back to Lady Trilli. The specifications here. Now, this boat is in Europe, so you'll see all of these measurements all in metric here, and the main asking price is in euros, which we've then converted to dollars. So that dollar figure, you would need to do a real-time conversion on that to get an accurate price, but it will be very sort of similar to what we have here. So we've converted these lengths into feet. So the overall length is 65 foot 7 inches, so it's the smallest out of the 3 that we've had for you this week. Beam is 16 feet 5 inches, that's also on the smaller side, and the draft is 4 foot 3, again the shallowest draft. Now, it's actually interesting that proportionally the draft on this boat is a lot less than the other two boats that we've had for you today. So keep that in mind as we're looking through the photographs, because it's very, very impressive what Pershing have done with the usable space in here, and it actually feels a lot bigger than many of the other boats, even though they're 5-6 feet longer and a couple of inches wider overall. So this has the MAN engines, the high-powered MAN engines, very popular for this type of drive. This is an Arneson drive, so that's where the propellers come partially out of the water. It's the boats that send up the huge rooster tail when you see them driving offshore, a bit like racing boats. This has the 3 staterooms and plus the 4th crew cabin. The speeds that they get out of this are incredible. I mean, it's a whole 10 knots faster than the other two boats. A cruising speed of 40 knots and a maximum speed of 47, which, if my maths is correct, then that's about 55 miles per hour on a 65-foot boat. It's incredible. So the asking price in US dollars is $1,876,000. Now, this boat is in France, but there are a few of these boats in the US, and we're beginning to see more and more of them actually built for the US market. So the brochure here is quite small. They're just the professional photographs that they've taken. These have probably come from the Pershing website, but it's gives you a great sort of brief idea, and these boats, as I mentioned, are around Fort Lauderdale, so we'll get those weekly yacht tours up and running, and maybe throw one or two of these in there. So the main salon, very sort of Euro style, very minimalistic. If you've seen the film The Island with Ewan McGregor, then this is very similar to that huge boat that they had in that movie. It was actually a Wally boat that they had in the movie, but the interior is very similar to that sort of style, that minimalistic style that's hugely popular over there. So I like how they have the ash-toned wood against the sort of darker walnut sort of shaded wood, and then they play off the white and cream fabrics. It's very works very well. Actually, when you would imagine putting all these different colors together, it wouldn't make any sense at all, but it actually works pretty well. And then they have this dark tan helm station here. Who'd have known? But the helm station has all the usual equipment on there, the Raymarine equipment, chart plotters, radars, all your speeds, depth sounders, all your engine readouts are here as well, and tank readings. The master cabin is full beam, as I mentioned, different to the last boat that we had, the Azimuth, that had the cabin sort of off to one side. This is a true full beam cabin with these two huge windows either side of the hull here. I mean, that really opens it up, and they got beautiful ash-toned woods throughout, playing off of the dark leather trim pieces. Nice sofa there to one side. So a real interesting feel down here. It's actually got pretty good head height as well. So everything about this room is really feels like you're in a much larger yacht than you actually are. A nice bathroom to that as well, and that's the bathroom that you see at the bottom on the left-hand side here also. And then up forwards, I don't know how they've made this room seem so large, but it seems so beamy up here, and still with a pretty large size bed. They've got the nice skylight and the two portholes either side. Lots of hanging storage here as well, so it's incredible what they've done with this area. And they actually have a big galley down in this area as well. Now, we don't see the third cabin here, and they don't show us the crew cabin either. It's a very brief brochure, but I do have more photographs of this, and all of that's in the yacht pack, so make sure you request that yacht pack, and I'll run through all of that stuff. This ensuite head that we see on the left hand side at the bottom there. That's the master ensuite. So that's all for the photographs on this. They do put in the great floor plan here, though, that's very easy to read. So you see in the cabin, it's got that full beam master cabin with the seating one area and the vanity makeup desk the other side. It is actually a king size bed in there. The forward VIP cabin, I believe that's a queen. They call it an extra large bed, but I think it's basically a queen size. It's bigger than a sort of double bed, but because of the shape of it, it's not quite square. So I think that's why they don't call it a true queen. And then the third cabin down there is the twin room that we see on the center on the starboard side. So it's amazing that they've been able to fit that. You would almost think that they would have to squeeze in a bunk room as opposed to a twin room, but the twin is much nicer. It lends itself much better to guest use. And then you see opposite that on the port side of the hull, that's the galley in there. So it's really a amazing use of space down here when you compare it to other manufacturers. So if you look just aft of the master cabin, you'll see on the starboard side there, that's actually the crew cabin. So that's accessed from the aft deck. So great layout. They got a nice huge swim platform on here as well, but they still utilize the garage for one of these jet tenders or a jet ski. So really combination best of a lot of different pieces from other manufacturers that we see here. And with that top speed of 47 knots, I mean, boy, if you want to go anywhere in style and in class, then you can't get much better than this. So I'll just pick out a few things from this write-up. It's very brief. The king size bed, it's got a big flat screen TV in there as well. It's en suite. All the cabins are en suite. The VIP cabin up forwards basically has the same details as the master cabin. They all have their own air conditioning controls there as well. The guest cabins, again, the flat screen TVs in there, air conditioning control, and they have the two single beds. The crew cabin, I haven't seen the crew cabin on one of these beds yet, so I don't know whether it's something that someone could actually live in for a decent period of time, or whether it's like that azimuth with the toilet right next to the bed, where you probably wouldn't really want to spend more than a couple of nights at most in there. The galley has a lot of sort of European equipment, so we'll see Bosch and Panasonic used here. So they have the microwave, dishwasher, fridge freezers, lots of nice equipment in there. It's actually pretty fully equipped galley. Main salon, nice big flat screen TV. The Bose surround sound systems also have speakers outside. These boats are generally pretty heavy on their hi-fi systems. They're sort of built for that younger partying sort of market. The salon again goes into the sort of hi-fi system that's in the salon and moves into the aft deck there. And we can see from the layout that has this central bunny pad or sunbathing pad in the center at the back there, and also the sunbathing pad up forwards. Goes into some details, the mechanical equipment. There we see our Arneson drives, the MTU V12s. Only has 222 hours on this boat, so that's a pretty good number of hours for this style. It details some bits and pieces about the construction of the hull. That's come straight from the Pershing brochure. I won't go into that. That's something that you can read from the yacht pack. And then it has some remarks there from the broker on the right hand side. It says there that it's a flybridge yacht. This isn't actually a flybridge from what we can see on photograph there. Some of these, I believe, that's probably come from a write up about a different boat. Some of the Pershings will have a very short, they call it a sport bridge. So up where you see the two radar domes there, they'll actually have a very short fly bridge, which is called a sport bridge. It's not a true fly bridge. It sort of plays in between the two fly bridge and express cruiser. But you generally see that on boats sort of 90 foot and up. So a great boat, interesting boat with the Arneson drives. If this is something that you're going to try and drive yourself, Arneson drives handle very differently to regular shaft and propeller boats. A bit like jet drives also drive differently to standard shaft line boats. It's probably worthwhile having some instruction on these before you do try and park it and dock it yourself. But a great boat. As I mentioned, there are a few of these in Fort Lauderdale, so we'll start getting on board them in our daily yacht tours. Get the yacht pack for this or any other boat that's out on the market, and don't forget to click through to that Be the First to Know button. So thanks for joining me. We'll have some more boats next week. Not sure whether they'll be one of the three main sort of boats that we concentrate on, the trawler style, the flybridge style, and the express cruiser style. That's sort of what we concentrate on here in Insider Yachting. And we've actually created 3 brand new books. They're not yet available, but they'll be coming up here within a couple of weeks, and it goes through in detail each of those 3 styles, gives you all pricing analysis, gives you style analysis, lets you know what you get within each style as you increase the size. So great source of information there. If you're looking into any of these style boats, then I'd say this is probably your perfect starting point, and they're completely free as well, so why not? Well, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week.